Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of the Yew Trees. We finished with Mr. Ross, Adam Ross, warning them about not to cut down the tree. So we continue on page 35. "In what way, Mr. Ross?" asked Zoe. Ross's thick hands moved with his voice, as if they were part of the words. "Yew trees," he said quietly but seriously, "live longer than any other tree, thousands of years sometimes. And just like people, there are male and female yews. Yews were special to those people who followed the old ways of believing. Then churches were built over the places where the old ways were followed. This made it easier for people to accept the new ways. But the yews didn't change. They are often found in graveyards. Many people think they are trees of death, but that isn't the truth. To people like me, they are the trees of life itself. Adam and Eve are older than Tislington, older than London. They have grown together like man and wife for thousands of years. Cut Eve's branches, if you must, but leave her life. Leave Adam with his wife." Rupert and Zoe did not look at all comfortable. Before they could say anything, Ross got up. "I'll go now," he said quietly. "I've said what I have to say. I can cut back the branches for you, but I won't cut Eve down. If anybody hurts Eve, soon they will hurt themselves. Let her live. Take care of her, and she will bring you good luck." Rupert got up. "Thank you, Mr. Ross, but I think we'd better say goodbye now," he said. "We'll do something about the tree ourselves. I'm sure you have lots of other work to do around Tislington, so now you can be on your way." But Ross had gone. Even as Rupert spoke, they heard the heavy front door shut. The room seemed colder. "Just who does that man think he is?" said Zoe, trying to hide the fact that she was afraid. "That sounded like a warning, Rupert. If anybody hurts Eve, soon they will hurt themselves." Rupert shook his head. "He's a little strange, I agree, but I don't think he's dangerous. He's just used to working with trees that he sees them as people. I really think he sees Eve as a kind of wife. It's sad. Not dangerous, dear. Don't worry, you won't see him again. I'll get somebody else to cut down that tree, somebody normal." That night, they found it hard to sleep because of the cold. It was October, and although the day had been warm, the night was much colder. Winter seemed to have arrived early. They had to put extra blankets on the bed before they could get warm. The cold wind blew outside their window, and sleep came late for them that night. The next day, they asked a young man to come and cut down the tree. He brought a motor chainsaw with him to cut down the tree quickly. But something strange happened. While he was working on the tree, the young man fell over and cut his arm badly. He said he couldn't understand it. He was never careless, but he just fell over. He said it was as if someone had pushed him. But that was, of course, impossible. There was no one else around. The young man had to go home. Rupert rang someone else. "Don't worry, dear," Rupert told Zoe. "Another man is going to chop the tree down in the morning. I'm sure that will put an end to this stupid problem once and for all." "Well, it had better," said his wife. Early the next morning an older man arrived. He had brought a sharp axe to cut down the tree, and looked strong and able. He said that cutting the tree down was an hour's work at least, probably more. So Zoe and Rupert left him to do the job while they went out for a walk. The Blakes came back 2 hours later. The man was still there, but he had chopped down another tree, not the yew. The Blakes tried not to be angry. The man said he was only doing what they had told him to do. He would not change his story and said he was telling the truth. In the end, they paid the man just so he would go. "What is going on here?" shouted Zoe, more angry than afraid. "You told him to cut down the yew, didn't you, Rupert?" I'm sure I did, darling. But he said I didn't. You know, it's almost as if something made him hear something else. He didn't seem the kind of man who would make a mistake like that. "Right," said Zoe. "I'm going to buy an axe. I'll cut that tree down myself. You see if I don't." Rupert told her not to be stupid. He told her he would ask somebody else to come and do the job. He said he would watch them himself while they cut down the tree. "You can watch me then, because I'm going to chop that tree down." Zoe had decided, and when she had decided to do something, nobody could stop her. "If you want to help when I get tired, you can, but no tree is going to stop me getting what I want. I don't care how old it is. I don't like it. It's got to go." So they went into a shop in Norwich and bought an axe. When they got back, the director of their program was waiting for them. He needed to talk about some filming ideas for Rupert's new kitchen. By the time he had gone, it was early evening. "Let's get the axe," Zoe told Rupert, "before it gets dark. We can make a start on that yew." Rupert did not mind hard work. He often went to the gym and was quite a strong man for his age. He offered to do all the work alone, but Zoe refused. She wanted to begin cutting down the tree herself. Either the yew tree went, or she did. She had decided. When they got to the graveyard, the sun was already low. The colors of the grass and the trees were strong in the late sunlight. Eve's red berries were like drops of blood on her green leaves. "Right," said Zoe as she picked up the sharp new axe. "Stand back, Rupert. I'm going to chop this tree down if it's the last thing I do." Rupert stood back and watched as Zoe made her first cut into the tree. The axe bit into the tree, and there was a terrible scream, a woman's scream. Zoe's eyes opened wide as she dropped the axe. She saw a tall woman with no clothes and skin as green as the yew leaves step out of the body of the tree towards her. The woman pushed her hand through Zoe's body to her heart. The hand went into Zoe as though it was going through smoke. The hand turned, pulling Zoe towards the center of the tree as it did so. Now it was Zoe who screamed. Rupert saw the woman and Zoe disappear into the body of the tree. Then they were gone. They were inside the tree. He was sure of it. His wide open eyes knew what they had seen. But When he looked down, he saw Zoe lying on the ground in front of Eve. Rupert felt somebody near him. He turned, and he saw Ross, who had skin as green as the yew leaves and eyes as red as the berries. He looked deep into Rupert's eyes, then stepped back into the body of Adam and was gone. Rupert heard the wind in the trees. The axe lay on the floor next to his wife's body. A red berry fell into Zoe's dead mouth. The new Blake home was finished. Home Makeover was shown on TV even after Zoe's sudden death. The viewers loved the program, though many asked themselves why a woman Zoe's age had tried to cut down such a big tree in the first place. Rupert lived alone in the church and made no more home makeover programs. The two great yew trees were seen as beautiful things. Viewers and visitors both loved them. They all thought the female tree, which seemed to have grown bigger over the past year, was even more beautiful. Yes, Adam and Eve were taken care of very well. It was true that they've blocked the view of the town, but even so, no chainsaw or axe ever touched them. Rupert Blake made quite sure of that. And that is the end. What a spooky story. Great. Well, I am really looking forward to discussing this with you in the class. I'm sure you have some great questions, and I will be asking you some questions too. Have a wonderful day. See you again soon. Bye-bye.